This is a story that combines the topics of German law and organic chemistry, two subjects that I know very little about. But that's never stopped me making a video before, so let's talk about how one small typographical error may have accidentally legalized several drugs. We're talking about the new psychoactive substances law, which seeks to ban the recreational use of dangerous designer drugs. But of course, the law has to define exactly what counts as a dangerous designer drug, but designer drugs are being created all the time. So the law basically begins by saying this applies to all the substances listed in the appendix. It then goes through all the things that you're not allowed to do with the banned substances and what the penalties are, and then comes the appendix. The appendix is not a simple list of individual compounds. Rather, it lists types of substance. For example, first on the list is compounds derived from 2-phenethylamine, and then it goes into a lot of detail about the exact molecular structure of these compounds. From time to time, a new drug appears which isn't covered by the list, and so the list has to be updated. And here you have to have a little sympathy for the lawmakers who don't necessarily understand much more about organic chemistry than I do. This is what the appendix currently looks like. Politicians are supposed to look at this and say, oh, that list doesn't include this new drug we've just found. The new drug in question is a derivative of LSD called 1V-LSD, which particularly concerned some people because there were reports of very long bad trips and adverse effects on health, making this one possibly even more dangerous than LSD itself. But that compound was not covered by the law, and so this part of the appendix had to be amended. Now, if you're a German proofreader well versed in organic chemistry, you've probably already spotted the error, but for everyone else, here it is. Yes, those are German proofreading marks. Okay, let me explain. This is the relevant part. More specifically, it's this hyphen here which is in the wrong place. This is the correct version. Now, I don't have the time to get into all the finer details of German grammar and punctuation, but here's why this matters. The intention was to ban alkyl carbonyls and cycloalkyl carbonyls. Instead, what it now bans is alkyl carbonyl. Okay, look, I'll tell you what, let me just put that up on screen for you. There, that's what happened. What this means is that not only does the updated law fail to ban 1V-LSD, but it actually legalizes several designer drugs that were previously banned, including 1P-LSD and 1CP-LSD, or so claim some legal experts. But if they're right, then it actually gets worse. See, the mistake has only just now been found, but it was made in October last year. Which means that it is theoretically possible that some people who were convicted of violations of this law could apply for a pardon. Now, the Health Ministry has admitted the mistake, but it has also said that in reality, this is just a typo which can be speedily corrected, and it doesn't really change the law. In actual fact, despite what the text may appear to say, these substances are still banned. But the government has to hope that the courts will see it that way, because if they don't, then it really does mean that all of these substances are currently legal and may remain so for a long time to come. You see, the law would have to be changed, and that means it has to go through the whole legislative process. That includes consulting with experts and getting the approval not just of the Bundestag, but the Bundesrat as well. Of course, the opposition is making a huge deal out of this one, with one CDU politician suggesting that this happened because the government was too preoccupied with legalizing cannabis. Okay, but she is a member of the health committee, so am I wrong in thinking that she probably had an opportunity to spot the mistake herself before it was too late? Some people have gone to the opposite extreme and suggested that this shows that perhaps we ought to just decriminalize all drugs. I mean, I'm sure there are some really good arguments in favor of doing that, but of all of them, I think that making laws is hard is not the best one. I mean, the fact that it is hard is the reason that we pay people to do it. But anyway, I think the message of this story is completely clear to everyone. If you want to do drugs, check your local laws for typing errors. He looks like just a little bit. That doesn't include this new... See, the mistake has only just now been found.